Let's talk about problems, where they come from, why they can be so hard to fix all by yourself, and how the counseling process helps resolve them. Now, the best way to learn about problems is to think about a real one you're having right now. Everybody's got them. Can you think of one that's bothering you? Well, why haven't you solved it already? You've solved lots of others. What's different about this one? Simply put, a problem is a problem until you gain enough information to fix it. You have a wonderful big brain that figures things out all the time. It just needs enough information. Now, people usually think they have all the information they need, but they don't. Yeah, they do. They don't, and they do. They just can't access the information they need. You see, you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. The information you need is in the unconscious. A good counselor can help you gain that information, not by advising you, not by telling you what to do. The counselor doesn't know what information you're missing, but she knows where to look inside your unconscious mind. I mean, where else would she look? It's your problem. You created it. You just forgot where you laid the keys. The other reason the counselor doesn't tell you what to do is because what you think is the problem usually isn't. It's a symptom. Let me see if I can give you a good example. Let's say you want to study, but you don't. You procrastinate, and then you start failing your classes. It's natural to think the problem is procrastination, but it's not. Procrastination is a symptom. A symptom of what? Well, I don't know. And you don't know. You might think you know. I mean, you've come up with some very logical conclusions. But remember, if you really knew what the problem was, you'd have already solved it. So when you think back to the problem I asked you to consider a couple minutes ago, what would it be like to consider it as just a symptom of some problem you're not even aware of? Maybe another example will help. Say you're doing an arithmetic problem, basic stuff like addition, subtraction. Your friends think the answer is 5. So does your mom. Your dad thinks it's 6 or something close to 6, maybe 7. Well, what's your answer? You're not answering. How come? Because I didn't tell you the problem. Okay, my bad. What is 2 plus 2? How long did it take you to come up with the answer? How sure are you that you're right? Pretty darn sure. All you needed to know was the real problem. And believe it or not, most solutions are just as obvious once you get the problem from your unconscious mind. Let's go back to the symptom of procrastination. In my experience, the underlying problem is always different. Some people think something bad will happen if they succeed academically. I had a student once who believed his brother would die if the student got good grades. So he made sure to fail. Another student failed so she could change her major. Another guy didn't want to look like a geek. And then there was the young lady who knew that girls just can't do math. I hope we can all agree that these beliefs are nonsense. Women can do math. There's nothing wrong with being smart, and nobody's brother is going to die if you pass a math class. The crazy thing is that each of these students knew their beliefs were nonsense, or at least they did once they figured out what they believed. Until then, the beliefs were hiding in the unconscious, and the students were just acting upon them by procrastinating. So how do you retrieve a belief from your unconscious mind? A belief you don't even know you have. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack, except that the problem needle is threaded. And that thread leads right back to the symptom. You can't see the needle, but you can pull on the string. All you need to do is pay attention and be curious about the symptom. The only problem is that we humans are pretty good at not seeing what's right in front of us. An idea can come to mind every time we think of the problem, but we reject it out of hand because it doesn't fit with our conscious conclusions. We remember things, but forget their significance. We feel an emotion, but who wants to feel feelings, right? We train ourselves to ignore them. And that's where a good counselor comes in. While we're busy deluding ourselves, a curious counselor looks at the symptom with fresh eyes, puts attention on those foreign, uncomfortable, dismissed thoughts and feelings. And then you too can get curious, look more closely, and discover the unconscious information you need to solve the problem. You'll see that needle hiding in plain sight. And best of all, you won't need the counselor to interpret it for you. You'll see new choices and decide which one works for you. You'll solve the problem all by yourself. Does that make sense? I hope I've been clear. If you have questions or a problem you'd like to solve, you'll find my contact information below.